Alright, yeah, this is the first video on basically the factorizing quadratics methods I had in that class. We're going to go through method A in this video. I'll call it method A. The formal name is actually called the split method. I'll tell you why. We'll go through the example that was on the piece of card and another one that was from another method. This one was from method B, but we'll get to that. First thing you need to know about quadratics is basically what your A, B, and C are equal to. These are your coefficients on your terms. Your A is that one there, so the coefficient of x squared is 3, your B is equal to 7, and your C is equal to 2. With pretty much all the methods, you need to work out what AC is in your first step. So in this case, it would just be 3 times 2 equal to 6. You also need to know what B is equal to, but you can just read off your quadratic right there. The second step is basically a bit like how you did your GCSEs. You need to find two numbers that times together to give you AC, and those two numbers have to add together to give you 7. Just looking at quickly, the only real number you can get is basically 1 and 6. So 1 times 6 gives you 6, definitely, and 1 plus 6 definitely gives you 7. So these two are your factors right here, or the two numbers you're looking for, m and n. From there, it's called the split method because we're basically going to take this original quadratic and we're going to split the x term into two things. So we're going to split it with the two numbers we just found. So 1x, I'll get rid of that in a minute, but 6x there and plus 2. Yeah, you don't really need to write the 1 there, but that's just to sort of highlight the point. So I've split it up, that's why it's called the split method. It doesn't matter which order you put the 6 and the 1, it still works out. From there, you basically want to split the quadratic into two parts. You want basically 2 terms on one side and 2 terms on the other side. Again, it doesn't matter if you did the 6 first or the 1 first, it still works out. What you're going to do with the 2 halves though is basically find out what factors you can take out of that one and what factors you can take out of this one right here. If we concentrate on this one first, if you have a look, the easiest thing to do is look at the coefficients. I've got 3 and 1. I can't really take out any factor except for 1. If I look carefully, I've got x on both of these terms, so I can take a factor of x out of that. So essentially I can take a factor of 1 from the coefficient and an x, so 1x, or just x by itself. What I'm left with is basically this factor here, 3x plus 1. I'm going to look at this one now. Again, I need to look at what factors I can take out of 6x and 2. They both divide by 2, and that basically is one of the factors. So I can call this x plus 1. So if I multiply this out, it should give me this one. Likewise, if I multiply this one out, it should give me this one here. You might not actually see that cursor. If I multiply that out, I should get that. If I multiply this one out, I should get that. It's a positive 2, so I'm going to add a positive sign there, or plus. I like the split method because if you've done it correctly, you'll have one bracket here and an identical bracket here. If you've done it incorrectly, you would have 2 different brackets. But I've done it correctly here, so I've got basically x plus 1 on both sides. What I'm going to do is I can take this and this out as a factor because I've got x times this and 2 times this as well. If I take the bracket out, I'm basically left with x plus 2, which is my other bracket I'm looking for. That other bracket, you can see the x is here and the x is there, the plus 2 is here and the plus 2 is here. If that was a negative, if I took it out, it'll be negative 2 as a factor, and again that would be 2, but we don't have to worry about that because that's actually a positive there. So we've taken out a positive 2, there's a plus 2 here. That is pretty much the split method right there. If I just delete what I just did here and just have a go with the example that we had from method B, so this 8x squared, 19x and blah blah blah. So I need to know what my A is. Just change the pen color, sorry. I need to know what my A is. That's 8. I need to know what B is. That's 19. I need to know what C is. That's 6. First thing I need to know is what A times C is. Got 6 times 8. That should give me 48. And now I don't need to worry about what B is because I've got B is 19. I've got to think of two numbers that times together to give me 48, and two numbers that add up to two numbers that add up to give me 19. Ooh, I actually can't remember this. Let's think about this. What factors have I got for? I've got 2 and 14. That doesn't work. What's the next one? 4 and 8. 4 and 8. What's the multiple of that? 7. 7. So I do 4 and 7. Can I do 4 and 7? 4 times 7? That doesn't make sense. 2 and 4. I got 8 times 6. Doesn't add up to give me 19. I honestly can't remember this. I'm gonna have to check. Where is it? What are some factors? 3 and 16. I feel like a bit of an idiot now. Yeah, the two numbers I'm looking for is 3 and 16. They add together to give you 19, and they should times together give you 42. Yeah, the way you can think about it is if you divide that by 2, it gives you 8. You've got, because you divided that by 2, you can times that by 2, and it's still mathematically accurate, and it's 6 times 8, which is what we just did, 6 or 8 times 6. Anyway, sorry about that. Once I've got that and that, I can split my equation now. So I had 8x squared. I'm going to split the 19 into basically 6x and 8x right here. No, not 6 and 8. Brr. Being an idiot. It's been a long day. 3x plus 16x. So I split those two up, and then plus the 6 there. And again, it doesn't matter if you did the 6 first or the 16 first. It still works. Just split it up and take out any factors out here. So what I want is the same bracket on both sides once I've taken factors out. Just looking at this, I've got an 8 there and a 3 there. It doesn't look like I can take many real factors out. I think I'm just going to be left with 8x plus 3, and I've taken a factor of basically x out there. On this side here, I've got I can take a factor of 2 out from both of them. What else can I do? I can't take a factor of 4, can't take a factor of 5, 6. I think that's just it. So it might just be that there. So I'm left with 8x plus 3. Yeah, it should be right because I've got the same bracket on both sides. If I take that aside now, I've got 8x plus 3. And my other bracket is just going to be this, x, and this, plus 2. Let's double check it just to see if we're correct. I've got 3 times 2. That should give me a positive 6. I've got a positive 6, brilliant. I've got 3 times x, so I get the 3x. I've got 8 times 2, positive 2, so I've got 16x. So that makes 19x. Let's check if we got 19x. Yeah, perfect. And 8x times x does give you 8x squared, and we got that there. So yeah, this is pretty much it. That is the split method. probably me explaining it to you has probably helped you out a bit. I quite like it just because it has that step here. If you've got the same brackets on both sides, you've done it correctly, and that's pretty much a reassurance or insurance point there for the split method. If you've got any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, yeah, I'll stop it there. How do you stop this? Stop.